to another episode of Anderson Ad Break. I'm your host, Sam.
And I'm Maddie.
In this episode, we are going to be talking about the brands that have caught our attention so far this year in 2025. We're going to be talking about some of their strategies and their campaigns and kind of see what has made them successful so far this year and share like what we can all learn from them and maybe apply some of those tactics to our campaigns and strategies.
Absolutely. Let's get into it. So Sam, what's our first brand that we're going to get into today?
First brand, obviously, if you are on any type of social media, then you have probably heard about Duolingo's death. Little backstory. Duolingo is a really fun app where you can learn a new language. They gamify the app, so they make it like a game, and you can spend even just about 5 minutes every single day to learn a new language. Duolingo has social media accounts pretty much on every platform. And it's not just the American version, because if you think about it, Duolingo is a language learning app, not just here in America, but all over the world. So each country has their own Duolingo social media accounts as well. So that kind of plays into the whole social media strategy that they've been doing. If you have been following them at all, you know that they go for the shock value. They like to post memes. They like to make fun of anything that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
So Duolingo died. So not the brand, not the app. Duolingo, the mascot, died. So if you have seen any of their social media, you know that they have a mascot. It's a big green bird. And so on February 11th, Duolingo came out with a statement. And it says, "It is with heavy hearts that we inform you that Duo, formerly known as the Duolingo Owl, is dead. Authorities are currently investigating his cause of death, and we are cooperating fully. To be honest, he probably died waiting for you to do your lesson, but what do we know? We're aware he had many enemies, but we kindly ask that you refrain from sharing why you hate him in the comments. If you feel inclined to share, please also include your credit card number so we can automatically sign you up for Duolingo Max in his memory. We appreciate you respecting Dua Lipa's privacy at this time." I think the funniest part was it wasn't just Duolingo's account playing into his death. So they had like a funeral for him and they were like making really funny videos. So then Germany came in and they posted like this seance to try to resurrect him from the dead.
I saw that. I think Duolingo's marketing and advertising is incredible. And I think that is exactly what our generation is attracted to and what we love to consume content-wise. When I saw the seance from Duolingo Deutschland, it's just so captivating, and that's such a great strategy, right? Like, as you were saying, how now I'm understanding, right? It's like each Duolingo's country has their own just like Instagram channel, right? And it's just so funny how like now they were able to kind of cross the collabs like through countries, because I didn't even know that they had that like before you said anything for like Spain and France and Germany. So it's great traction. Think about it from a social media probably perspective. You're now getting traction internationally from this whole Duolingo death.
I think that's so smart on their part to be able to have all those other countries' accounts come in and be part of the joke and be part of like the PR stunt of his death and the hilarious videos that they all did. But if you think about it, the best way to learn a language is if you immerse yourself in that language. So going to another country, but maybe it's not feasible for everyone to like go to Germany or go to India or Brazil and just be able to like spend like months on end to immerse yourself in that country to learn that language. What better way to do it? Do it online. Go to their social media accounts, because though Duolingo Espanol, there is no English on their accounts. So that's like a great way to learn like another language. That's so smart on their part.
It's so genius. It's another incentive that literally is their mission statement, is to help people learn new languages. You do get spammed with so much content these days. You get served it's not spam content. I'm saying like you get served so much content that's just random that maybe you're not even subscribed to. Like I swear half my Instagram feed is literally not even people I follow.
Same.
So it is actually, I feel like now in this day and age, even harder maybe even to get subscribers for stuff, because people want to make sure that if they're following content, it's engaging and it's funny, or whatever thought, leadership, whatever you're interested in, obviously, especially for us, like we want to follow like engaging, thoughtful content. And like in a way, following Duolingo is like marketing content in itself. Even though it's funny content and it's silly, at the end of the day, all they're doing is reiterating that message. And I feel like Duolingo has really spearheaded this new way to capitalize off of social media content. And I think they're doing a great job.
They're doing an amazing job because, like you said, they definitely lead with shock value. Mm-hmm. They are so dramatic in everything that they do and everything, like how they post and how they comment back to people and how brands interact with Duolingo. And like the owl is so beloved. And so to say that he died is like so shocking.
So shocking. Well, I mean, Adweek wrote a whole article on it. I mean, for Adweek or any, big marketing advertising platform to do that, I mean, that's like a big deal in and of itself. And honestly, a compliment to Duolingo.
The headline literally said the Duolingo owl is dead, an investigation. And they wrote it out as if it was a big investigative piece.
Yeah.
Within just like a couple of days, they already had 12 million views on YouTube just of their YouTube shorts of like them posting it. So I thought that was a very successful campaign and everyone was talking about it. He was finally revived on February 12th, saying that they finally gained 50 million user experience points. So the Duolingo's back. I guess Germany resurrected him.
So the seance.
Yep, the seance worked. So I think that this campaign was so successful because it not only generated like so much buzz and engagement, but it also, like at the end of the day, it created more ROI for the app, which was the intended goal, was for people to go back on Duolingo and to continue learning languages.
Yeah. I love the Duolingo app already. Like, I think it's awesome the way it's so interactive and you can have friends. I think like another note for people to realize, I think like, you see silly type content, you see all this like generated content, but there's such a bigger strategy behind it. And I think that's like the new way that we're adapting. And I think maybe like people need to realize, like, just because the content may be silly or like super trendy and whatnot, there's so much thought that has to go behind it. And like from a bigger perspective, and you have to hire people, like if you think about it, that you trust and to make this content because it is so rapid. I would love to like look more into like a case study and like the people that are behind, like the marketing, the social people behind Duolingo, because I really wonder what their day-to-day life is like, because it must be, your job to go on, Instagram and TikTok and see what's trending and be like, how can we take this and make it our own and also use it in a way that will drive people back to our app and our channels. So I think it's awesome.
I can't even imagine how big their social team is alone. Because if you think about it, it's like you have to have the people like in the mascot outfit. Then you have to have the people filming it. You have to have people always online commenting back, doing the community engagement, the community management. Like that alone, like they are commenting back every single day, every hour of every single day.
Yeah.
Like that in of itself is a full-time job. So the next brand we're going to be talking about is Aldi. Aldi is a grocery store and they have really stood out to me this year. I was just kind of looking at their social media and I feel like they have kind of shifted a little bit this year with their strategy, and I think what they are doing is incredible and it has making me laugh so much. They are taking their social media strategy to the next level by incorporating more social listening and creating content that is so timely and so relevant. So the end of February, this girl went viral on TikTok because she was eating a $20 strawberry from Erewhon. And Erewhon is like a luxury grocery store in LA that's known for the like $60 smoothies, which is absurd. So everyone was making fun of her on TikTok. Like, why would you eat a $20 strawberry? So then Aldi posted a meme and they posted the $20 Erewhon strawberry. And then they posted a picture of them holding a regular strawberry that said that this LA grocer is $18.99, Aldi 32 cents. $18.99 for one berry? We would never, ever, ever. And then their caption is like, can you even imagine? Like, fortunately, you can take one bite of our organic strawberries for around 32 cents. So keep the change. All 1867 of it.
Yeah. And you know what? In this day and age, I don't know why people are buying a $20 strawberry, but it was so funny when you showed me that Aldi capitalizing off a current trend and kind of making, I think, respectfully making fun of it too. It's not like they called out Erewhon themselves. It's like, you obviously know where the strawberry comes from, but I really like that because it's like a playfulness too. And then it also is pandering to their audience. I mean, their audience isn't people that want to spend $100 on a jar of nuts. It's people that probably just want to like get some good quality groceries for the cheapest price they can. So Aldi, and just like scrolling through their Instagram, they really know their audience and they really know how to play off of current trends and highlight that. that. So I thought that was amazing. You know what's so funny too is like I saw Raven Simone and her wife pranked her with it. She was like, she cut like a regular strawberry and she gave it to her, and she's like told her, this is the Erewhon, $30 strawberry, and Raven was like, oh my god. And it just goes to show, like, at the end of the day, is the strawberry really that good, or is it just the price tag?
Like, I even heard too, the strawberry was like so like pale inside. Like, was it actually good?
Was it actually good?
Or did it just taste good because it was $20?
Yes.
But I feel like Aldi really plays into like knowing their audience because their whole brand is built on value. So that was like the perfect moment for them to step in and say that, because everyone who goes to Aldi knows it's like they're there to save money and they're there to get like what they need. And Aldi does have like some really fun, cool products that is like a value compared to other grocery stores. So they really know their audience. And then playing into the social listening. So recently Southwest has said that they're going to no longer be doing the free checked bags. So within hours, Aldi posted a reel and it said, finding use for your giant luggage now that they don't fly for free. So it showed this reel of this guy going into Aldi, and he had like a really big oversized checked bag and like a small little carry-on bag, and he was just loading his groceries, putting it into his luggage, and then putting it on the conveyor belt and then walking out. And it says at our store, it's BYOB, bring your own bags, and yes, you can use both free of charge. Because it's like Aldi, it's like they're known for like having to use a quarter to even use their cart. And so it's like, if you don't have a quarter for your cart, why not bring your luggage?
Bring your luggage
for free. Bring your own bags.
I would love, what's so funny about that though is like, I wonder if anyone in compliance is worried, like, are people could actually bring their suitcases to the store? I don't think so.
I hope they do. I kind of want to. Be like, well, on Instagram, you said
on Instagram, so
it makes sense. If it's bring your own bags, it's a bag.
Absolutely, it's a bag at the end of the day.
So that was really funny. So that just really goes to show the importance of social listening and why brands should always know what's going on online, because it's like, even though most people in the day-to-day may not have heard about that $20 like Erewhon strawberry, but everyone on TikTok and Instagram were talking about it. Like, if you're a brand that's in the grocery store business, then it's like that was a great moment for them to capitalize on it. And then same with like the Southwest bags. It's like they allow anyone to bring in like their own bags, so they don't have, because otherwise you have to pay for their bag.
Yeah.
So it was a great moment for them to capitalize on that too.
Yeah.
So it's like being chronically online as a social media manager is so important for this reason.
Absolutely. And I think like that's maybe like a learning element for a lot of people. It's like, well, why do I want to post about a strawberry? I mean, that's not, thinking about maybe they have a new product that they are trying to sell or something like that. And there's like, I think that's when as a social media manager, you can push and be like, yes, absolutely, we're going to market this in its own way. But when there is a trend to capitalize it on, it's more than just like what the content is itself. It's the algorithm, right? Like when you're capitalizing off of it, other people are talking about it as well. And so if you have a good video that streamlines into it, that's just, you don't even have to do that much work. It's just going to help, it's going to be a part of the trend, and it's going to boost your content. So I think it's like, it's honestly a smart and like kind of cost effective way of trying to build if that's your goal, is to build your channel. I feel like that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah. And then the whole point for social listening, which I really try to emphasize on, is that being on social media, it's all about being social, right? So if you're just talking at people, then people may not interact as much with your content. But if you are social listening and you know the conversations that are going on online, and if you want to join in on that conversation, but not talk at people, like this is a perfect example of how to join in on the conversation and be a part of it without just talking to yourself in a corner.
Absolutely. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Kosas, which is a makeup line that I recently have gotten really fond of. So I heard about it honestly like last year mainly, but then it wasn't until like the end of last year that I started like buying their products. I was like, oh, these products are great. But the reason why I want to talk about it is I feel like their paid media and social campaigns have really been a great like case study in capitalizing off trends, but also like knowing your market. So Kosas was only like an indie brand in 2021. So they're relatively new. And now they have huge product lines in like Sephora and Nordstrom and Amazon and TikTok Shop. Like they have really become kind of like a global sensation over the past 3 years or 4 years. And so I'm like, how did they do that? And so they were really capitalizing off, consumer trends and preferences. And what's great about Kosas and what as a consumer I really like about it is they have organic ingredients, not all organic, but they have a lot of organic ingredients. What I really love is that their brand identity is so strong because their founder, she identifies as herself as a Kosas girl. So I think she has strong brand identity within herself and she really cares about, like I said, the ingredients and what goes into her products. But what she didn't want is to be streamlined into a niche, because I think a lot of the times with like really like high end or like organic products, like people are like, well, some people don't care about that. And she was like, no, I want to make this a global brand that anybody can wear. And it's just a benefit that it is good for your skin. But so I thought what was really interesting is that when she was doing research to build the brand, she was like, okay, I want to partner with people that fit in the organic space, right? So that it gives your brand credibility. So if people like Gwyneth Paltrow, who she ended up partnering with, who is the queen of all things, organic and natural and whatever, Goop. She partnered with Goop. And I was like, that is such a great way, because it's a small indie brand. And then, the trusted consumers of Goop then have a good affiliation with Kosas, because if Kosas is supported by Goop, then this must be healthy and good for you, right? So then once, she started gaining traction on that, and that's when they started working with more influencers and starting getting the clean girls and, people that had a trusted presence in the makeup industry. And I just thought that it was so genius that she was able to build that authenticity and brand first of it being that clean girl, and then kind of going into now the marketing for Kosas isn't so much focused on it being organic and whatever. It's more about clean skin, fresh skin, feeling good, feeling natural. And then so like some digital trends that they've done is like tutorials. They created like filters for your face, and then you could like and then they have so many different colors for your skin tone, so they were inclusive. So that was another great thing that helped them get a bigger audience and a bigger following. And then also people that are just like online talking about makeup, what I've noticed in that industry specifically is it's not cute to be not inclusive. And that is the main thing in makeup, especially right now, is like the more colors you have, because there's a lot of different shades of people in the world. And the fact that for so long, there was literally probably 10 colors for white girls, but if anyone has a darker complexion, then, oh, sorry, you just have a couple shades to pick from. So I love that Kosas, when they launched their brand, they had that. And I think that also helped gain consumer trust and validation. So I think it's great the ambassadors and celebrities they've worked with are also in line with their brand. So I think they've just done a really great job of staying true to themselves as a brand. And I think that's why they've been able to be so successful. So I thought that was a great case study to kind of chat about.
I love that. And even just like looking about like what you were talking about them like being on like TikTok Shop, I think that was so smart of them because of the whole trends of like the get ready with me's, where everyone, as they're putting on their makeup, they always say what products that they're using. So that was so smart of them, because it's like, especially like Gen Z, whenever they're doing like a get ready with me, like there's always 10 million comments saying like, okay, like what product are you using? Like what foundation is that? Like what lipstick is that? So I think that was genius that they were on TikTok Shop instead of like saying like, oh, this is Tarte. And for the longest time, Tarte wasn't on TikTok Shop. So people literally had to leave the app to go to Ulta or go to Sephora. So if you can just buy the product right from there. So that was very smart of them.
Yes, absolutely. And I think they have competitive pricing, which also helps as well versus some other products. And they don't have like, their nose up high, because I do think, and I think this is why it was so interesting, just like I grew up in the space, like more granola, organic, and a lot of people do have their nose up to people that don't, eat that way or buy that way. And so I really like that they were like, okay, yes, we're organic and yes, we're clean aesthetic, but we don't want to exclude people from our market. We want this to be accessible to everyone. And I think another great thing that they did is their packaging is, and their brand colors are really fun and vibrant and trendy. And I love it. Honestly, their counter stands out the most. And I think that's also really interesting when I've gone shopping around like at a Sephora or Nordstrom or whatnot. Their counter's like always like purple, and there's like so much like fun colors, and they've just really reinvented the way that like makeup can be, and it can be accessible to everyone. Because what I've seen is like it's really trendy amongst young Gen my God, Gen Alpha even. But then I also see up to like millennial, like their brand doesn't really have an age. And that's what I kind of noticed as well on their website and their marketing and stuff.
I love it so much. And to be able to target every generation, I think is so important and like so amazing that they're able to do that successfully.
Absolutely. And I think that just goes to show again, when you're a brand or owner self-identifying as your company and what you want your consumer to be, I think that helps you along the way make the decisions to keep on track to your mission and your values.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. They won all of the audiences in a very strategic and successful way.
Yeah.
And then we do have 2 honorable mentions. So we did talk to our video editor, Carson, what brands that he is watching this year and why, like what caught his attention. So the first one is Personal Day. He's in a skincare era. Both brands are skincare, which is amazing.
Skincare's for everyone.
Yes, even men. So the first one that he mentioned was Personal Day. And just looking at their website, I already love their colors and the aesthetics. It's like green and oranges, and it's very clean aesthetics. He said that he really likes Personal Day, their social media presence, because everything feels like so honest and personal. And then his second one is CeraVe. And as you remember with the Super Bowl, the CeraVe ad with Michael Cera, which was just so perfect. Like it was so perfect for Michael Cera to partner with CeraVe. Absolutely. It was genius. Yeah. And he said that that was his favorite campaign so far this year because it's hilarious, but also promotes generic products in such a fun way.
Yeah. And I think it also, they kind of like were making like a joke about influencer marketing in a way because, you know, they have him with the X on his face. They're like, not Michael Cera. And it's just funny. It's like, there's the humor behind it. And then there's also like, it's a notable brand and then it's a notable celebrity. And then he and himself is, he kind of goes with the brand, right? Because CeraVe, they're all about clean, dermatologist approved care. They're not trying to do anything crazy. And Michael Cera is someone who, he's not doing anything crazy. I would like to even maybe describe him as a little bit like vanilla, you know what I mean? But like, that's what you kind of want for a CeraVe. That's what you want for your skincare. You don't want a bunch of crap on your face. You want a brand that is just like, these are clean ingredients. This is what we got. And they're working with someone who is just like, as a person, he's not controversial. Let's just say that. He's chill.
And it's so funny if you think about it. Like if I were to pair a skincare product with a celebrity, Michael Cera is CeraVe. Like it just makes sense.
Because he doesn't like wear makeup. I don't see him doing anything intense. I see him washing his face and like maybe putting a lotion on. Do you know what I mean? And then I think that's what they want. Yeah. They just want you to be clean and happy.
Because CeraVe is just very simple and minimalistic. Absolutely. And everyone loves them because they're recommended by the experts.
Yeah, he's funny, he's simple, and CeraVe needed that. And it was memorable. We remembered it.
It was clever. So that's all we have today on this episode of Anderson Ad Break. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to share this episode with your friends, your family, your coworkers, and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And rate us 5 stars wherever you listen. Bye.
Anderson Ad Break is on all major platforms, so tune in wherever you get your podcasts or check out the video version of each episode on YouTube.
Like and subscribe to stay in the loop. You won't want to miss what's next.